Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trail and Scale podcast. This is your host, Peter Buch, and this is the second solo episode. I want to start by saying that we are going to experiment a lot in the next couple of weeks. We're going to experiment with the set here. We're going to experiment with how these guys are placing me, where I'm going to sit, what I'm going to wear. We were talking about wearing the shortest possible trail shorts and having like this sports on the bottom and business on top. So picture this in your head. Whatever you have in your head right now, it's going to be way worse. Yeah, it's going to be an epic couple of episodes, so you better tune in. As you guys know, this is your aid station on your journey to success. But Trail and Scale is also my aid station. So I learn from guests and I learn from reflecting and trying to be better each time. To be honest with you guys, this year 2023 was rough. And 2024, I'm just trying to pull out some fires and solve a lot of problems. And I just spent a couple of days with David, with my business partner in Vienna. And he said something very smart, which was that this time of trying to figure things out and not knowing what we're doing and really everything is not doing so well is actually the best time. And looking back, this will be one of the best times of our lives. And he obviously loves it because he's a creative and he loves being with his back to the wall and trying to solve problems creatively by building apps or by coming up with new solutions. These challenging times are why we all started businesses and why we are founders. If you don't like challenges, please get a job. If you do like challenges, sometimes it can still be too hard, but you are going to get out of this and you are going to get through this. So in this episode, I want to talk a lot about the new things that we are trying, why we're experimenting with a new espresso blend at Stardust, why we realize that there's so much knowledge in this group of people, these exceptional people that I've been working with, that we want to share some of that knowledge with a new project. And why we're experimenting with a lot of things, even here at Trail and Scale, with new settings, new lighting, with my short shorts, and with a lot of things to make this podcast more exciting, more shareable. So I really wish you could give us a lot of feedback because that's what we thrive for. We want to take you, the viewer, the listener, on a journey, and we take your feedback and make this show as good as we can. We've all heard of ChatGPT by now. If you haven't already, you must check out OpenAI and what they're doing and how they're changing the world as we speak. Why am I so excited about ChatGPT? I actually wasn't until recently, and I started actually playing with it more. In the past, I used it to write better emails, to write some blog posts. I used it to help me with my LinkedIn posts, but what usually happens is you write the prompt, but what you're getting out of it is usually not that great. But then something got me super excited. So 2 weeks ago, I spent the whole Saturday building my own GPTs. Imagine the early days of the App Store when Steve Jobs announced the iPhone in 2007 and suddenly developers could write little apps and write software that everybody could just put in their pockets. And you had this access to millions and billions of people potentially. I think the exact same thing is going to happen or is already happening with ChatGPT. There is a very closed off GPT store. So right now you need an OpenAI Pro account to build or to use those GPTs. GPTs are basically apps. So what you can do is you can program ChatGPT to talk to your users in whatever way you want to. So what I did as a curious person and as somebody who always is keen and eager to explore new technologies, I built a GPT and then another one and another one. And it's all within a Saturday afternoon between lunch and dinner. So that's how awesome this is. So the one thing and the first thing, and actually my favorite one so far, is called Karen. You can find it at releasethekaren.com. And I basically just crossed this hybrid of Karen, your typical stereotypical Karen, with a Kraken. What Karen does is Karen is a complaints assistant. So Karen lets you vent. You can basically say whatever the fuck you want. You can complain about having this most disgusting burger and shit service in a restaurant. And Karen turns that complaint into this beautiful, nicely written complaint email, super polite, so you don't piss anybody off. So you can still let off steam. You can still talk to the manager, but Karen will talk for you in a way that gets you what you want. It might be a free meal. It might be a room upgrade in a a hotel, or it might just be a reason to politely give somebody feedback while you're not robbed of the experience of seriously shitting at somebody who pissed you off. There's two more. So you guys know that I'm in the consumer packaged good industry with Stardust, and I'm super excited about CPG, about this whole industry, and I'm super excited about trends in that space. And with my background with Swelly, with this market research assistant, I thought, how can we combine this hype around ChatGPT, the potential of AI and the power of AI with the market research space and what we've been doing with Swelly. So I created a market research tool for consumer packaged goods brands to figure out more about markets. For example, you type in like, what is the most trending chocolate brand in Canada that started within the last 10 years? And my little GPT will give you an answer within seconds. So just a little research GPT. And the third one I created is a GPT brand generator. So you can create packaging design for your next chocolate or coffee brand or your water can also within seconds. So it is definitely better than just using ChatGPT, but don't take my word for it. Check it out. You can look up my LinkedIn. Just go to peterbuch.com. It will direct you, and you will see all my GPTs and everything I'm up to. So for you as well, go to OpenAI, check it out, play with it. I'm sure you guys have plenty of ideas. It's so easy to create a GPT. It's super hard to create a good one because it's really about how you frame your questions and your prompts. But at the same time, it's very rewarding, and it's a good way because you don't need any programming skills to build something like an app. Let's talk about my brief visit to Vienna to see my co-founders, Fred and David. We talked a lot about how we can make Stardust better. And one of the big things that you guys, our Stardust customers, have requested is a little bit more variety. While our current Stardust is more of like a filter coffee, like your batch brew at your favorite coffee shop, we wanted to create a secondary product that is a bit more versatile and you can use to make your lattes, your cappuccinos, or just drink it as a straight up espresso. So we created something that I'm going to show you now. We created this Stardust espresso blend. So this basically looks exactly the same as the current Stardust instant coffee. You just take a spoonful and add it to water, and you will have a delicious tasting espresso within seconds in hot or cold water. Then you can make your cappuccinos, you can make your lattes, you can play with it, add ice, whatever your heart desires. There's also this amazing product. It's 100% macadamias turned into macadamia milk. So you just add about 600 mils of water to this, and you'll have a weekly ration of macadamia milk for your cappuccinos at home. Thank you, House of Macadamias, for sending me those samples. We're definitely exploring a collaboration, and we definitely want to bring the variety to the instant coffee experience of Stardust. While I was in Vienna, I spent a lot of time with Fred and David thinking about what to do next and how to continuously grow our business. At the same time, I spent a lot of time with my team here at the Trail and Scale podcast. And what we figured out is there is an opportunity that came to us because there's so many people asking me for some consulting or some advice and for some help every now and again, how to start a startup, how to talk to customers, how to create great content. So we created something for you. It's called Scale 12. So that's scale12.com. Once you apply, you get a free call where we talk to you about all the details. But what it's about, it starts with a startup potential check. So you get a checkup. We're looking into your product. We look at your finances. We look at your operations, whatever you think is the most important part that you need external feedback, and we'll give you a potential score. And based on that, we suggest things moving forward. Might be working with a consultant. It might be hiring a certain person, might be a new market for you, etc., etc. Definitely talk more to your users. This is the most important thing. And since we're on that topic, please also do reach out with feedback about Stardust, about the Trail and Scale podcast, about my new ideas, about the GPTs that you've been building. So anytime, send an email to p@peterbuch.com. I swear I will reply to every single email. Once you start sending me 100 emails a day, I will hire somebody to reply, but you will get an answer. Over the holidays, I read this book. It was actually written in the 1960s by a plastic surgeon called Maxwell Maltz, and it's called Psycho-Cybernetic. He talks a lot about how he changed a person's face and the personality totally changed. It was this whole new person, so full of confidence, no longer depressed, so excited, and had a positive outlook on life. And he had another group of people where he did a nose job and he also completely changed their appearance, but they just still were not happy. So their psychological patterns didn't change, and they were still in the same miserable position that they were before. What he realized is we need to give ourselves basically a surgery on the inside, like by changing our outlook of life, by changing our personality. And I believe we can all do this. And I've been trying this approach for a couple of weeks now, and really think, this person is so great, and what's great about that person. And it's really, really hard to like everybody. So I need to sit more and reflect on this topic. When it comes to business, it's really helpful to think of people in a positive way, because at the end of the day, you want to make business with people you like and people that like you. And by going out there with a positive outlook, the end result is also going to be more positive. You kind of receive what you put out in the world. And I think this is what this whole book is all about. By setting goals and striving for greatness, and by changing yourself towards those goals, you will achieve more with doing the same thing. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Trail and Scale podcast. Check the links below, and please tune in for another episode with a very special guest.